How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do a contract. It's in the second set of contracts called Preventive Care, and it was just a good excuse. I was looking around for a few missions to do. For whatever reason, I fancied taking out a highway truck to see how they actually handle on this phase, and as this mission is like, now I've got the second gateway unlocked. It's basically from the garage, like follow the main road up, across the bridge that I fixed, and then yeah, through the second gateway. And over to Burned Forest, and then once you pop out of that gateway, you're still on the main road, up to like the top right of the map, and there's a farm in the corner. At this point, it says you've got to grab 6 hay bales. It does say a truck, a truck with a crane is recommended, so it does kind of give you that hint. But I wasn't sure if it was just going to let me auto load them or not. And then you pretty much got to bring them back to not far off where this garage is, to be honest, on Albany River. And yeah, like I say, it was just, as I was flicking through the trucks, I'd sort of flick through the missions as well, and seen this one, the Ford Clit 9000, whatever I call him, Harold, Fred, I think he's got quite a few names, this one. Yeah, so I just wanted to take it out, see what it's like, and, well, you can see already, I've got to be honest, a little bit on the disappointing side, because I've got like a crane and a trailer and all that, but, wait, the loaf. He's goddamn professional, he doesn't weigh anything unless he needs to. Yeah, you can see though, even like driving along the road, and I've got the top engine and all the rest of it. In high gears, obviously, like that'll do if nothing else is working, but along these roads it should easily be able to climb up into 8th out of 8 in auto. I even sort of remember that was like one of the redeeming features really with the highway trucks. They obviously suck as soon as you go on mud or like dirt off-roads and all that sort of stuff. But motoring along the road, they actually felt like they had a decent amount of torque and would get a nice pace going, and they had nice steering even at like the higher speeds. Yeah, whatever the hell they've done in the last phase or two with breaking the gearboxes, it's definitely bleeding over even into this, just going along like a normal tarmac road. I was trying to take sort of racing lines, try and go as straight as I could to try and build up the speed. I think once or twice, kind of downhill with the wind behind me kind of thing, I managed to get into 7th, maybe 8th gear, but yeah, for the most part, it's, I don't know, it almost feels like you're wading through water when you're not. It's a little bit like back on Michigan on Smithfield Dam. When you cross the dam, even though it's obviously like the road you're crossing is out of the water, there's water surrounding everything. And I said way back then, like, it's as if the coding of the game is counting it as like there's water when you're driving across the dam. And it does behave like that, where it kind of, say if you were in auto, it doesn't want to get up to like 8th. It feels like, yeah, you're wading through something invisible. And yeah, like I say, whatever they've done, it's not too healthy for the gearboxes. I've not even got any cargo at the minute. I don't really think this trailer's particularly heavy. Again, I've got a crane on, but so what? It's a truck, so you should be able to load some things onto it and still be able to drive at a normal pace. Otherwise, there's not really much point in it being a truck. Well, not anything above like a show truck anyway. So yeah, you could, if you just like see the gearboxes, I'm constantly trying to get it in auto, trying to mash L1 to get it to jump up the gears, but it's not liking it. Not as much as I was expecting, especially like say for a road trip. If it was, yeah, having to swerve off left now and go down like dirt roads and all that, I could see it being pretty terrible, because this has got, yeah, no all-wheel drive, no diffs or anything like that. See there, I think I actually got up to like higher in the gears going across the bridge, and that entire time there I'm pinning the throttle, I wasn't feathering it or anything, and it just completely gave up. Keeps trying to want to jump back to like first gear really. And even the high gear, I've got to be honest, it didn't feel as like it had as much oomph as it normally does. So I don't know, I probably won't be cracking this truck out again for a good little while. I remember the last time I used it, I remember it was on the Heartlands map on the last phase. I had to go into some swamp and grab, might have been a cargo container or something. But yeah, maybe it just wasn't as noticeable then, because I was driving along dirt roads for quite a bit of it, but it does stand out quite a bit now that it's not, to be honest, even earlier I was driving around quickly, messing around with the Derry, and that still feels really slow. I even went to Black River on Smithfield Dam, I didn't have time tonight to do the gameplay and review, but I was just curious to see if the Derry would actually kind of behave more normally. Or, well, like, I suppose it's a new truck, so I can't really say that, but various trucks seem to feel more normal back on, like, the original maps in the game, where they don't appear to have fiddled with the coding as much. And yeah, the Derry even felt pretty slow on there. Anyway, we've crossed over the gateway, yeah, to the Burn Forest. Like I say, got to zip up the right-hand side of the map, which is more road driving. So this is one of them sort of downhill with the wind behind me. I think I can get it up into 6th, 7th, maybe it might go into 8th in the end. So far, when I've been driving around, I've found with these maps, to be honest, like a lot of the smaller, like normal size, I suppose, 6-wheeled trucks are doing pretty well. That Tayga I used the other day, Tony the Tayga, that was absolutely smashing that mission. That feels like it had plenty of oomph and everything in high gear. I've used just for like background things, I went and fixed one of those water booms, but I kind of scouted it out before I went and did the mission, and then I took some water to it just to see what's going on with all that situation. Yeah, it appears they can only store water, it's not actually letting any more appear. The Voron AE though, the Voron Grad's been pretty decent. I think I used the Voron D at some point and it was good, but I would say I think that's got like a special gearbox on it as well, so the high range is a little bit slower than the rest. But yeah, I'm going to use the Tayga pretty soon, like the original one. I'm sure that's should feel pretty decent, hopefully. And yeah, as well, apologies for not replying to some of the comments at the minute. It's I've like my charger cable broke, so I've got like some temporary crap on that just doesn't boost the phone up enough. So as soon as I start trying to use it, the battery absolutely plummets. So yeah, when I get a new charger, I'll catch up on some of them. But I've been reading them. As far as I posted the video yesterday, I was talking about the blue screening going on. People are saying, have I reported it to SnowRunner? I've certainly done like the error report, and I even wrote some things in it. I don't know if that goes to SnowRunner or Sony. A few people are saying they've had issues even with other games since the last software update on the PlayStation, which I do remember doing recently. So that's a possibility, but I don't know. Other people with a PlayStation have said they've had no issues and all sorts. Yeah, from all the kind of testing I've done, like I say, I can't really test what causes it. I can just kind of keep trial and error on what's not causing it. I still think it's like since they've updated Phase 9 or whatever, because again, I mean, this is my normal playthrough tonight. Touch wood, I've had no blue screens, and I even, funnily enough, I suppose, yeah, travelled to Black River because I was messing around with the Derry, and I didn't get any blue screens then. So, like I say, it still seems like it's more likely when you've got mods on, but I don't know. Like, yeah, it's a bit annoying to be honest, because obviously the live streams at the minute are kind of now the new phase is out. I'd like to get stuck into some of the new mods and mess around on the game. It kind of helps me as well, I suppose, in a way. I get to do like a trial run on some of the missions that I can then make a video on later, and I kind of already know what's going on with the mission, so hopefully they get it fixed sooner rather than later. It's kind of been driving me mad, to be honest, with the blue screen, so I'm not really attempting it again at the minute, but nearer next week's live stream I'll give it another go, load the game up, put all the mods back on and see what's going on with it. Yeah, now I'm up this field. It does, once you get to like the blue square checkpoint thing, you have to go and manually load the hay bales, which isn't a problem, to be fair. They must be light enough that the crane's not being a dick about it or anything. Even at like full extension, it's not just plummeting to the floor, so that'll do. It was alright. Driving around, yeah, it's a little, I don't know, hayfield. And even though I already knew I needed 6 hay bales for this one, I could have, this Ford Click 9000, it will have a crane and a sideboard, and I'm pretty certain you'll be able to have a trailer on it as well, because it looks like the rear of the chassis is like plenty of room. But I just went for the step deck in the end. I know it could hold 5, I know I could do this with the last hay bale, is just kind of balance it on my head like a hat, and pin it down with a crane. I suppose, yeah, the step there, I can fit a goddamn horse on there just in case I needed him. But I don't know, I suppose it was just because I was running a highway truck, just seemed more suited it better to have like a semi-trailer on it rather than like the sideboard and a ramped flatbed behind me. Plus I've used the ramped flatbed here, there and everywhere. Well, I've got to say actually, speaking about trailers, I actually think the ramped flatbed is not the most trollish trailer anymore. When I was driving with that little 2-slot trailer, like the one that weighs nothing, that's just got single axles on it, I think that might possibly be the new most trollish trailer, because it has basically no weight to it. So as soon as you go around corners or anything, and it seems to sit really high, it just wants to flop around all over the place and try and tip your cargo out. That other 2-slot trailer that's got like the double axles and it's got the beams up at the side, so it sort of holds your cargo in better, that's not too bad. But yeah, I think the ramped flatbed might have had its crown taken. In the scheme of things, I don't get trolled too much by it. It's one of the few things they actually, again, I don't know whether it's by accident or on purpose, but they seem to have actually fixed the ramped flatbed. Might have just got lucky. Might be like a coding glitch that's just made it work out that way. You see now though, when I'm loaded up with all this cargo, even though it didn't feel particularly heavy, the truck's still behaving the same, where, I mean, high gear, it winds up in high gear, it's ticking along no problem in that sense, but it just feels, I don't know, they keep doing something with the amount of revs you're getting. It really, I don't like that, because it's one of the most unrealistic feeling things in the game, when you just don't get to have your full engine revs going. It's, yeah, like an artificial cock blocker. I don't like it. Still trying to get it up in auto here, there and everywhere, but again, now, yeah, downhill with the wind behind me. That's the ones. I did get it going at a nice speed at some point. I can't remember which bit of the road it was on now. Old Shadow looks pretty good. Tell that there's a goddamn horse on the trailer. I think now, yeah, did I get into 8th? It's funny as well, because some of those like water trap things across the road, I was crossing them and it was going through them without bothering me as much as there's certain little patches on the road where there's just like, just looks like someone sprinkled a bit of mud on the road, like there, and that would hold you up even worse than like the bits where the road's flooded. But yeah, thankfully at least this mission was highway driving, so I didn't get trolled too bad. I went with the chain tyres as well in the end. I was flicking through all the different tyres. I nearly went for the UOD2 or something, the off-road tyres. I just went for these in the end because there's the vague descriptions they give us. They both said, I think it was like average on-road, good off-road and average in mud or something like that, and it was the chain tyres were basically the same, but they just got obviously an extra rating for ice. Yeah, so you got to run back down the same road to like the little sort of village thing going on near the garage. When I spawned through here, that trailer was pretty close to me. Might have to move that over a little bit, the old pay star. Yeah, and I was eyeballing the shadow. Like, overall, this was like a nice little mission, pretty chilled out mission, to be honest. I was just, yeah, quite sort of disappointed with the way the gear's going, even on this highway vehicle. Got to build all these water towers at some point as well. I'm not sure as and when to do them. I was kind of eyeballing them earlier tonight. I might get them done fairly soon, at least the 2 water towers that I believe unlock actual water, not just the water booms where you can store it. Still don't really see the point in that too much. I was looking on Burn Forest earlier and I've seen a mission that said water boom 7, so wouldn't surprise me if there's another 4 on that map. Yeah, so we're going to end up having to well, at least 7, but I imagine probably 8 water boom things we've got to restore, which, yeah, I don't really see the point in them. Again, I know they can store water, but whatever vehicle you're going to take there to transfer the water can store water. So I don't really get the point. It'd be like the equivalent if there was a little shed on the side of the road now that said, oh, you can store hay bales, and then I could just stash all these hay bales for, yeah, for what? Just to do the mission later. Or I could just park this entire truck at the side of the road and it automatically is stashing hay bales, because that's what's packed on it at the minute. Had to go the proper way around the roundabout. Don't know why, OCD, I haven't gone the wrong way around the roundabout yet. I have jumped over the middle of it though. I do make an exception for that. If we're going to go flying through the middle. Trying to jump on like that axe. Not quite got there yet. I've bounced off it a few times. That's one nice thing actually. I had a little mess around with that Zix 566A or whatever it's called. That actually feels like pretty nice in high gear and all the rest of it. It's a little bit like the Action or whatever the hell it's called, and the Warthog and that Tatra. Is it the 8? No, I don't know, 805 or something. Yeah, so it's quite a small vehicle, but in high range it actually gets a bit of a move on and all the rest of it. I think now, yeah, that one of those tree trunk things was just sticking up. I think it was just catching on the step deck. It's like one 30-foot patch of mud, and I get caught in it. It's typical. Although to be fair, like I say, it was more the tree trunk, and to be honest, this thing did actually manage to maintain its grip, even though obviously the front wheels aren't putting any drive in or anything. But it made it. That's where I think those chain tyres bite in a little better. Kept me actually moving. Oh yeah, as well, good news, my granddad back out of the hospital now. He's back in his bed. I think he was in there for a good couple of weeks. And while he's in there, they, yeah, seem to have given him pneumonia. Like I say, he's like bulletproof, that guy. He's had COVID 2 or 3 times. He's had every jab, so he kind of lands on both sides of that argument. Yeah, he's had pneumonia. He's fallen over. His toes not good. He's been passing blood, all sorts of stuff, but he's hanging in there, bless him. So yeah, went down and seen him last night. Just chatting away to him for a bit. This village little thing here reminds me actually of Black River, like the sort of little town that's fairly near the garage there as well. Oh no, actually it's not near the garages, it's on like the other side of the map. But still, it reminds me it's pretty similar. Yeah, unload these, dropped 5 off, obviously I've got to move this last one, just load it onto the back of the truck. Apologies there as well, I remember just as when I was looking at the footage, it cut the last bit where I was just swerving into this car park thing. Which is a bit annoying, always gets me at the worst moment. And then yeah, get that and it's done. I'm sure when you read the thing there, it says like, I'm not sure if we've saved the ranch, but yeah. We saved some hay bales, so you've done your job. It's like, right. We don't know if we saved a multi-million-pound ranch, but at least we saved $240 worth of the hay. Mission accomplished. High five the loaf. Yeah, money-wise, again, it's just a cool little chilled mission, but yeah, these trucks, not too impressed. But anyway, that's about it for today though. I hope you enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, thanks to my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf because he's a goddamn beast, and I'll be back soon.